The first part of class today, we talked about a new thing called grammar codes that I wanted to introduce you to. In your interactive notebook, this is the one that has your vocabulary and your context clues. We're working from the back, so we're going to call that page -1. You're going to go to the very back and either draw or create this grammar code chart. If you were in class, we glued it in there. If you come see me, I will give you a copy as well. You could try making it first if you don't like how it looks, and then you can ask me for a copy and we can print one off and put it in there. But it's going to go on page -1. And we're going to do 3 this week, and then as we go, as I look at your writing and I notice these are some mistakes that a lot of students are making, we'll continue to add to this list. Okay? So I like to call this your personalized grammar and mechanics instruction, because grammar codes are things that I think as 7th graders you should know, but for some reason we still are making mistakes in these punctuation or grammar errors. And it could be just a matter of the fact that you were absent the day that your teacher talked about it in 6th grade, and you just never really learned it. So this goes through some of the rules and how to fix them. So grammar code number 1, if you ever got your paper back and it was highlighted and had a number 1 next to it, then you made an error with punctuating the title. So let's talk about what the rules are for punctuating titles. First of all, let's talk about capitalization. You need to capitalize the first, last, and any other important words. And really, every word is important other than an article like a, an, or the, or a preposition. And that's one of the reasons that we're studying prepositions early on in the school year. So you can see the title is capitalized all, light, we, cannot, and see, the first and last word, all the important words, but not articles or prepositions. Next, we need to think about how do we show whether it's a large work or a smaller work. And I compare a large work to something that you could read within, you would not be able to read within a class period. And I'm saying at your level. So books, of course, if there were picture books, we're not talking about picture books, we're talking about a book at a 7th grade reading level, you would probably not be able to read at within a 45-minute class period. So those should be put in italics. Same with magazines or newspapers. Now again, you might think that you could flip through a magazine, but if you were going to sit there and read the words and think about what the articles are telling you, it would take you longer than 45 minutes to go cover to cover. Same with a newspaper. Now within those books and magazines, we have smaller pieces of writing. We have chapter titles within books, or poems, or short stories. Within magazines and newspapers, we have articles. So if we are quoting or referencing any of those, we put quotation marks around them. With both of these, we need to make sure we're following the rules of capitalization. So let's look at a couple of examples. For books, The Hunger Games, the is the first word, so it does get capitalized. If it was in the middle, it wouldn't. First, last, and important words, and then you'll see that it's italicized. Magazines, Sports Illustrated. Newspapers, The New York Times. Television shows, SpongeBob. Movies, The Last of the Mohicans, all get put in italics, and we watch our capitalization. For smaller works, chapters, Once Upon a Time gets put in quotation marks. A poem's title, a song, an article, this is an article that's from Achieve, a short story. All of these could be read within a 45-minute class period, so they get put in quotation marks. Again, following the rules of capitalization, first and last word, but not the important words. So we see upon is a preposition, a is an article, and it does not need capitalized. Now, if you were in class, we did a little Pear Deck and we practiced this. You do not have to do that if you were not in class today, but you do have to do this. So in your Google Classroom, you have a practice activity that I want you to do. And you can use your notes. I encourage you to use your notes. That's why we have those notes there. That's a resource to you. You're going to put your name on here, and it's going to ask you to put either quotation marks or italics, and you could just copy and paste that if you want to, and paste it in the correct spots. Thinking about what do you do to a book, a short story, a magazine, a poem, or a chapter. And then for this, you're going to do this, recopy the sentence. And again, you can copy and paste if you want to. Control C, Control V, and paste it in here. And then make the correction. So if I find the title, The Lightning Thief, I have to think, do I put it in italics or do I put it in quotation marks? Do I need to fix anything with punctuation? Okay. Make sure that when you are done with this in Google Classroom, that you click the Submit or Turn In button. That's how I'll know that it's done. This is homework for Tuesday night.